welcome. We're playing Myriad song. I will be your host, Eli. I believe we always almost always forget these. Introductions, right? Is that what or the
Yup,
briefing? What's
introductions.
the
Tell you what,
introductions?
I'll go ahead and go first. Why not? Hey, I'm Griffin. I'm playing Mitherlin, a Lampier agitator with a liberatory personality. My motto is down with our oppressors, and our goals are to discover the truth about Lazaro and to protect Ognar's equipment. Not that equipment though. You know, the laser he's gonna give us.
Yep. Who'd like to go next? The Ractus or Arcloid?
I'll go. Playing the Pharaoh Banfrey, the patient Truodon mercenary, underworld. Her goals are to meet up with Ronnie the Blue, discover the truth of Lazaro, and protect Ognar's equipment. Her motto is one shot, one kill.
I'm Jaimin, Underworld, Pharaoh's Conductor, personality is enigmatic, motto is can't you hear the music. I still have the goal, obtain a starship, rendezvous with Ronnie the Blue, and discover the truth about Lazaro.
And our other member, Rafferty, is still in transitioning to a new place after his apartment had an unfortunate fire, and he'll be back, I believe, in 3 weeks, first week of October, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we left off, the party had just been told and accepted a mission from their lovely criminal friend, Ognar Scroll, that they needed to protect a certain apartment complex and some equipment that was going to be put in for the duration of, I believe he said, 2 to 3 days. And then after which you would receive a ship that you could then leave the planet with. You all had then stationed yourself inside this on the upper level of these apartments and had begun doing some kind of casing of the joint. I believe Griff, your character Mitherlin, had kind of made friends with people and were trying to prepare people for, if hypothetically they had to leave, that they might be able to support each other or help each other out. Jamin, meanwhile, was thinking, well, let's just set fire to the building and try to get everyone to leave that way. He didn't really give you any advice on how he wanted the building cleared. All he wanted was that you guys managed to clear enough room for this equipment. And I will now I can switch over to this right here. And it's rather large because I wanted to get as many floors of the building as possible on. Now, you might say, wow, some of these dimensions look different for different levels. That's not true. That's just your eyes. You might also say, wow, some of these pictures are colored. Yep, that's your eyes again. You should really see a doctor. So on the far right, we've got the first. These are wrong. We've got the first. There's red numbers by each of the different floors. So you've got the first floor. We've got the second floor. The third floor is a nice gardening floor, and then the fourth floor and fifth floor are both apartment levels. If that all makes sense, just so that once we get into the full swing of things, that's what everything will. That's kind of the layout approximately of each level.
Okay.
So Lazaro had, or not Lazaro, good lord, Ognar Scroll has informed you that he'd like you to clear out the building this next upcoming day. So at this point, when we start off, you guys can all be on your upper level apartment, and maybe this is where you all are finally discussing what you want to do and how you want to finish up this approach.
Or maybe I could even drag it like this. That can be the there we go. Smaller token. Perfect. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take like this part here. So, We know what we have to do, and I guess now that we're looking at the map, the goal was the second floor, right, Eli?
So now that I've made this map, the goal will be to if the only floor that needs to be cleared out is the fourth floor. And specifically, we'll say this apartment here is specifically the one that they're going to bring the equipment into and work with there. But Pete kind of wanted the entire, at least that floor, clear.
Mhm.
You don't know, that's just, at least he didn't say just clear this apartment. He just kind of wanted, for simplicity, he said.
Right. And I think last time you said some of these apartments were actually empty.
Not on not on the first few floors. Once you start getting up to the sixth and seventh and higher than that, that's when you start reaching the empty apartments.
Right.
On these lower apartments, they're mostly occupied.
Right. So on the off the map floors then. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
on
That
the
makes
off the
sense.
map floors, that's where they're where you start to get to empty floors.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and look at you two and go, what do you two think about how you want to handle this?
We already had this discussion.
It's
already been planned out.
Not really. No, we were just negotiating the deal at the time, and I pushed it off until now.
No, we talked about it. We even talked about it in front of the guy, and the guy
You
was
talked
like, "It's
about
fine."
it out loud, which was a terrible negotiating tactic.
No, the
But-
guy said he was fine with it. He said he even liked it.
But for our audience today, why don't you go ahead and tell us what your plan was?
It's not my plan. I mean, I came up with it, but the guy was totally down for it. So, about burning, setting fire. How about, since you're so against it, you clearly know every plot point of the plan, why don't you go over it?
I'm trying to get you to tell us about it.
Well, the thing is that we've talked about it like 4 or 5 times now. I'm sure that any new viewer has had ample opportunity at this point to know what the plan is. If not, let them be surprised. Let them mute us for 20 minutes and then come back to you screaming, "Why did you do this to us, Jaimin?"
Well, that's entirely the point. Because if your plan is just start a fire, that's not a good plan because it doesn't account for where you're doing the fire, how long you expect it to go, or how you're going to stop it. I want to hear you out on it.
I did that already. We had that conversation with the guy.
That wasn't the time to plan. This is planning time.
No, that was the time to plan because we had to figure out what he was willing to do. Since this is his thing.
So, what is your plan then? Are you going to
I
say
appreciate
anything
that our
right
argument now is when is not and when is the time to plan.
Good talk. I'm glad we have this one plan of start fire and absolutely no further details to run off of.
We have all the details that were already previously discussed.
Good talk. So, what about you, Nifiru? Do you have a more sufficiently prepared plan than I'd like to start a fire and the boss said it was okay?
Not at the moment. I was trying to figure that out while looking at the building here.
Okay.
Look, you've already hit up the 2 salient facts. I want to. Boss said okay. Boom, done!
By the way, we were talking about a few days ago, or the last time we were together, we talked about maps that were hard to find for modern maps.
Mm-hmm.
The maps that I found were actually really awesome. Modern Floor Plans is someone that sells maps on DriveThruRPG, and it's not just that they. At first, I was just like, "Oh, cool! There's going to be like just a few maps for this apartment." And when I bought the modern apartment complex, it's a 200-page document which goes over like hundreds of different floor plans, like breaking up it into rooms, breaking it up into gridded and non-gridded. Like it was like, oh, here's an apartment that's got 4 rooms. Here's an apartment that's got 2. Here's apartments with 2 bedrooms. Like it was
Not
absolutely
to
insane.
not
Jeez.
to cut down your expenses report there, Eli, but when I did the same thing for a Vital Hearts planning game that never actually took off, all I did was I went to a realtor's website, and they had listed not only where the apartments were, they also had floor plans and weights and not weights, but sizes and everything like that. And I got those for absolutely free.
It's a good one. I did check out some apartment floor plans as well from realtors, but they weren't quite what I was looking for.
Because I mean, I also had the additional thing of I was placing the game in a real world, so I could also
Yeah.
then Google Maps where those apartments were. So I'm just saying, there's always a free option, Mr. Moneybags.
true. Money, 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 money. There's a problem. Throw money at it and then set it on fire.
Or
Yeah.
spend $10 on like a plank of wood and some super glue and some foam.
Foam sword fire, perfect. All
Look,
right, so
MacGyver wasn't famous because he was rich. He was famous because he did things with what he had.
all right, so Jimin, your proposed plan is fire, with several bold and underlined features to it. Maybe you also lit the plan on fire.
Previously discussed features and plans, yes?
Nefiro, you're still thinking about it.
I think we can get some incendiary grenades.
Okay,
That was not part of the plan.
and
That'll set fires.
No. Our
Am
plan isn't to destroy the building, it's to set fires.
right. And my offer for a plan is, we've been here for a while. We've talked to everyone and know them all. We just offer to help them move to another floor where they will not have to pay rent.
Well, the boss did not agree to the no rent plan. I'm pretty sure on that.
Well, to that I gotta say, fuck Agnar.
Well, I mean, that's plan 3, and you're on that plan.
That seems like an unusual plan. Hello, Agnar.
I'm not even sure how it accomplishes the task.
Yeah.
That's a different fire.
But yeah, so that's my proposal. So then, so what are we going to do then?
Well, my proposal already has 2 votes for.
I'll just sort of like roll my eyes in Nefiru. Just gonna burn it?
Well, I don't even need Nefiro. The boss voted for my plan, so...
Well, the boss isn't here, and he sure ain't lifting a finger to help us.
No, that's why he hired us. If he was going to lift a finger to help us, he would just do it himself.
Well, let's get in there and burn it.
Alright, 3-1.
I guess I'm outnumbered. Meanwhile, Ivan Lisk is like slowly raising up his hands like, I have an opinion. No one listens to him.
Well, you should have been a main character.
And he's just going, oh.
This is a story, and it's not your story.
Griff did bring up a good point, though, is how are you going to stop the fire?
Well, I believe that the original intent was that it wouldn't be a real fire. Like a stage fire. The smoke is the most important part, not actually the flames.
See, this is where elaborating on your plan would have helped.
Oh, you mean like the 2 other times I did it? One where I first originally brought it up, and then the second time when I brought it up in front of the boss and had him agree to it? I can't help it. What's your character's name again? Whatever the fuck your name is, that you can't remember plans.
So instead of incendiary, smoke grenades.
Right, but we actually need some sort of fire to go with it. We just need the fire to be small and controllable. Also, we do need to cause some damage, because if you remember the plan, those of you with memories, I guess without minds of D4, that the actual plan is to cause some damage so that they have to come back and repair it, and they can put the surveillance gear in the walls where they repair it, so that the surveillance gear is then hidden.
It's not surveillance gear.
That's surveillance gear for the place across the street.
My interpretation of what he's saying is that this is going to be a big fuck-off laser that's going to destroy it.
That's not my remembering, but it doesn't matter. As long as they can put it here, use it, and then take it away later.
Now, you see, the thing is, if we do just cause some light damage and then say that it's being repaired, I'm not sure how long they're going to buy it, and they're going to presumably want to return.
Cool. People want to return to their burnt-out houses.
Mitherland just kind of like shrug a little bit and go, I don't know exactly how you're going to do this, because you won't tell me anymore.
I hate repeating myself, and you're asking me for a third go-around, and I refuse.
So I'm going to just plug my ears, pretend this isn't happening, and then I'll go do damage control later. Do it as you wish, because I don't think I can actually really help you with this plan anyway.
So you're telling me if it's not your plan, you refuse to help?
No, I'm saying this is not my skill set.
How about we set fire, and you go
Like I
on
said.
with your plan number 3 of fuck the boss?
Like I said, I'm just here to do damage control. When trouble comes your way, I'm going to try to blockade it for you.
Literally,
That
we
is
need to
good.
cause damage. We want the reverse of damage control.
I'm gonna keep you out of jail, you dumb rock.
I'm not afraid of jail. You know what happens when someone tries to rape you and you have redirect encounter? You rape yourself.
That's great. You can stay on this planet for the rest of your life then. Duly noted. I'm not rescuing you.
You got that mental image now.
I thought you fucked yourself, yeah.
Anyway, Nefiro, you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes, he wants to be lookout.
Yeah, but here's the
Right.
problem, though, is that we need that damage to come our way. I'm not even talking about the fire and the smoke anymore. People need to be alerted so they get the hell out. We need
Keep an eye on the rock.
Sorry, I didn't hear the
Nefiro.
first part.
I'm just looking at Nefiro and just like, just keep an eye on the rock. And I'll go ahead and just start heading downstairs. So it's up to you guys.
Look, Lord Boar, no one's ever prepared for my what to do in prison plan.
I just plan on being the biggest, baddest one there.
Yeah, I too watched that Richard Pryor movie. Seems like that worked out really well for them.
All right. So, where are you guys going to be when you start this plan off?
On the first floor.
2.
All right. And what time do you want to try to start doing this plan?
What time does everybody go out for food stamps?
How
How about
don't
when do
think
they
it's
all pick
really
up
a
their kids from
collective
school? I mean, we apparently know everybody. What's the ratio to elementary school kids to middle school kids?
You can look at the different time schedules for when they leave.
Well, I mean, we know about what age they are, so all we gotta do is figure out when the school bus comes, right? To set their houses on fire.
Yeah. What names do you want on your active tokens there, Griff?
I already named them. I think you just need to turn them on.
Yes.
This way, it's just easier to distinguish who they actually are. There we go. Gorilla 1 and Gorilla 2.
All right, because you only ended up getting 2 of them this time.
Yep, that's all I rolled, and I'm just assuming we're going with that instead of re-rolling on this session, because last session it didn't matter.
Yeah, that
This
works.
this is the current adventure.
So you guys know the proper time to when there's the least amount of people in this building, and we'll say that's probably I mean, you can either go for like before noon when when everyone has gone off to their jobs and school or food stamps, or you can go kind of afternoon before everyone returns home from school and all that jazz. What would you like to do?
I'm going to be hanging out on floor number 5, and I'm just sort of looking out the window and just kind of looking down on these two.
Okay.
Why are you looking down? Where do you
Wait,
imagine you're looking down on us from?
Let's go
question.
to the afternoon so you've got time to go to the gas station or wherever we're going to pick up our accelerants.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we're not going to be outside, sitting by the outside of the building.
I have no idea where you're doing this, so I'm just putting myself in place.
Just hanging out outside so you can watch us.
If only you told me what you were doing.
I did. Twice. Have a memory. I'm a rock.
By the layout, these buildings, these longer buildings should be like this. The reason why I originally had them like this was so you could read the titles. Which do you prefer?
I
Do
say
you prefer it to be readable, or do you prefer to be the actual layout in regards to the other levels?
I think I'd go with spatially oriented.
Okay.
Tough choices, right? Do you want these maps to be comprehensible or other?
Or accurate.
Yeah. Comprehensible or accurate?
I can always just tilt my head. This is fine.
This is fine.
I'm pretty sure there's a hotkey on your keyboard to rotate the entire map a certain direction.
I know there is, because I was also
I accidentally hit it before.
in high school and middle school, where you do all that button hitting and then the screen flips around.
And then you got to figure out how to fix it.
Yep.
I just remember prying keys out of keyboards and swapping their places. Also installing folding at home on every computer.
Folding at home?
Yeah, it's for folding proteins.
Oh, I thought you like laundry.
My dad beat me one day because I switched hot and cold labels on the faucet in the bathroom.
Jeez.
Oh, see, ironically, I got beaten for starting fires.
Time to start another one.
Wow, we're learning a lot about each other today.
Are we?
This is our deep dive lore day. It's okay.
I'm
looking at outfits.
I don't know. You from the South, Arkloid?
What was that?
I said, are you from the South, Arkloid?
No.
Nah, I would have guessed. My second guess would be New Jersey.
Pittsburgh.
So, Mitherlin, you're staged up on the 5th floor. Neferu, you're near the entrance to the building on the 1st floor.
Yes.
Jamin, where do you want to be?
On the 1st floor? I see you opening your hands. I don't know where my token is. I'm not looking at the map. I'm keeping track of the Discord and the Roll20. You tell me where my token is.
We'll just say Windnifira then. How about that?
Probably. We're working as a team. A 2-man team out of 3 people.
Jamin is currently leisurely enjoying the garden on the
Am I? I didn't put my token on the map. You did.
All right, so Jamin and Neferu are on the 1st floor. Mitherlin and his allies are up on the 5th floor. What are you guys going to do? Team Firebomb.
Well, do you want to walk in and then perhaps have the accelerants hoisted up on a rope on a blind side of the building and do it that way?
I'm sorry, what are you describing?
Trying to sneak in a bunch of gas cans or whatever we're going to use to burn the place up.
Why don't we just walk them through the front door? Why are we hoisting gas cans up the side of the building by rope? Why is that stealthier?
Now, bear in mind, you are getting advice about burning things from someone who just admitted he was caught starting fires by his father. So...
Whoa. One, not my father.
Oh.
2, not caught starting.
Well, he was caught.
Right. I mean, but all the other points are salient in my defense.
All right, then. So we aren't going to need the gas or anything, and I'm just
I
didn't
didn't say
know
that.
how we. Oh, so we can just walk in with it.
Well, I'm saying, how is pulling them up by rope the side of the building any stealthier than just walking through the front door?
Well, one of us walks in, one of us is at the back, or however, we're in an alley with the goods. But if you just want to walk in with them, let's do it.
Well, I mean,
Just
we're
have some
setting
balls.
fire to the first floor. We're walking in the first floor.
Oh, I thought we were setting fire to the 4th floor. We're gonna make the whole building fucked up. Okay.
Well, no, we're just gonna fuck up the first floor.
Okay.
If you fuck up the first floor, why would that require people on the 4th floor to move out?
Structural damage. You can find that all the infrastructure connecting to, like, sewers, electrical, everything passes through the first floor.
All right.
Look, we've talked about this 3 times now. How many times did the Reservoir Dogs have to go over the same plan? That's all I'm saying.
I'll follow your lead.
If I was following your lead, gentlemen.
Okay. Well, we'll start right in the lobby then.
All right, you guys walk into the lobby carrying gas cans.
Because here's the thing. Who's gonna see us from the street if the fire starts in the front door?
Well, maybe anyone inside on the first floor?
Yeah, but they're gonna be running away from the fire. I do
All
like
right.
that when you reach the point where the plan has gotten so bad that even Arkloid is like... Even when Arkloid goes, this plan is bad. Maybe you're going the wrong way, but you know what? We're committed. We've already walked in the front door with gas cans.
You've walked in the front door with gas cans.
Thank God
What-
we don't look like anybody else on this planet, a floating rock and a giant dinosaur.
You're totally nondescript. The most blending in people on the planet.
Look, we're only 1, the deadliest person on this planet, and 2, the most killable person on this planet. I've only died twice here. And Darkloid has
At
only
least-
killed... Nefiru has only killed most of the people.
At least you know a good guy that could really repairs you. So the two of you walk in with these gas cans, and yeah, Mitherlin, that works.
Name a price.
You can
6 notes for a fire extinguisher.
that sounds like a lot. Because isn't each note around $100?
Well,
Basically, yeah.
each note is a day's worth of pay, basically.
Well,
So that sounds. Yeah.
I like them.
So here's where we
$100.
find out what element of society each of us lives in, where we think how much a day's pay is. Go ahead. How much do you think a note is worth?
So yeah, what do you think, Eli? What kind of price you want to put on that?
I would probably say around.
What is the value of
I
a
just
dollar?
did 1 note.
1 note? Okay. Boop. Done. I'm gonna buy 3 of them.
All right. Have you seen
Oh.
the map there, Practice?
I'll give you a hint. The screen that I'm looking at the map on, the floor is the size of my thumb.
Oh,
So
boy.
maybe I should zoom in.
Well, there's 2 stairwells. I was thinking about going to the stairwell, going to the top, draining the gas all the way down, then lighting that. There's
But
got to
we're-
be fire exits.
On the floor, You're
Well,
gonna
that'll
drain
spread
this down the stairwell from the first floor to the first floor?
No, from the top floor to the first floor.
We only
That's
want to
what I
burn
meant
the
to say.
first floor.
Very well. If you don't want to go balls deep,
I don't have them.
Let
well,
me
you have
go
one,
granite deep.
but your brain's in it.
If anything, he could be one giant ball.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yep.
All right, people are going to probably start leaving if we just start pouring the gas. So let's do that then. Cover the floor.
Yeah. When we want them to leave, we don't actually want people to die.
Well, they're going to see what's happening, so let's just start doing it.
So, in the middle of the first floor, you're just going to start pouring a bunch of gasoline?
Yep. We mean
All right, so
business. Everybody will know it.
the two of you start pouring gasoline on the floor, and immediately from this reception desk, an IOT stands up. Sirs, sir and ma'am, please, you're not allowed to do that here.
You don't want to stay here. You might want to use that PA system you forgot and get everybody out.
Wait, we're not allowed to do
Toodles.
what?
You're pouring gasoline on the floor.
Keep pouring, Nefero. Am
Of
I?
course.
This isn't gasoline.
Please, if you don't refrain from doing that, I'm gonna have to call the authorities.
This is petrol. This isn't gasoline.
If you don't stop doing that immediately, I'll call my manager and the police.
Wait. I need you to be more clear. Nefero, keep pouring. Stop doing what?
The IOT waggles its head and starts hitting buttons on one of its phones.
Legally, if you don't clearly tell me what you want me to stop doing, that I will not be able to defend myself in court about what I did or did not do, clearly. This will be on you.
That whatever that liquid is out on the floor, that's not allowed.
Nefero, you heard them. Stop pouring. Drop the can without putting the lid back on.
And from this building here steps out two of the security officers from this building, and one of them raises their hand. Is there some sort of problem here? What are you doing with those cans?
Nothing. They're on the ground. We've dropped them. Now, the fact that they were so full that they're now still pouring out liquid on their own, that's not on us. We have stopped pouring them.
We're gonna need you. They rush over and they start trying to righten them.
All right, you do that, but I am gonna light a cigarette. It has been a long day.
All right, so you start lighting. Wait, you have cigarettes?
No, but I'm assuming Nefero is a real hard smoker. I don't know.
How are you guys? Yeah.
She's got a flare gun.
All right. I'm not going to require you to. Well, actually, just give a roll just in case you roll all ones and you manage to fudge something up. Well, you didn't roll all ones, and you got at least one success. So you were able to hit this flaming trail of gasoline that you've poured out onto the floor. And as can be expected, it starts burning. And it just catches and covers the entire first floor. Well, not the entire first floor, but almost everything you've covered in gasoline begins lighting. And sure enough, in quick reaction, you start hearing the alarm systems going off, and the fire alarms are going off, and it is chaos. What are you going to do, Nefero?
My finger slipped and look for Jaimin and I guess try to get both of us out of there.
All right, where are you guys going to, like? If you run out of the building, where are you going?
Out the fire exits with the crowd. I mean, I don't quite blend into one, but it would still be best to put more some meat shields between me and any cops that come.
That's probably a good idea because the security guards that are and the receptionist are pointing at you two. Stop them! Stop them! Arsons!
So what about Jaimin? Is he following?
Well, he needs to be. He said he's gonna be right back. So
Oh,
we have a slight intermission. Do 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 do.
Meanwhile, Mitherlin just literally at the table. Lisk is just like making some lunch. It's like, good coffee, you know?
could you delete that line I drew? I must have had my control key down, and it looks like I might have drawn it to a different. Oh, there it is. I just found out where to.
It's
click
hard
it.
to select stuff like that sometimes.
It's so hard to select stuff like that sometimes. So Mitherlin, while you're sitting on the fifth floor, you're making a leisurely cup of coffee and chatting with your gorillas, right? You took gorillas.
Yes.
You're chatting with your gorillas, and you start hearing these sirens and the cry of smoke and and looking out the window. I assume you're not going to leave the building.
Not immediately, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and step out. And I'm going to go ahead and start directing anyone who's trying to evacuate safely and calmly.
All right. So that's very nice of you. You're starting to, you're calming down the people as they're fleeing from this building and trying to get away. From the window vantage point, you can see a collection of this world's firefighters and police trying to arrive on the scene
Hmm.
and set up some sort of basically, set up a perimeter and escort people to safety and all that jazz. So
Okay. Uh, so a couple quick questions. First of all, the entire time I've been here, there's not really security cameras in this apartment, are there?
there are no security cameras on any of the apartment floors.
Okay, that's fine. The second one is Mitherlin definitely sees the people leaving the fourth floor apartment, right?
Yeah, that's correct. You'd see folks leaving out on the fourth and fifth floor, and
Okay.
maybe you see a few straggling from the upper levels, but you also like you're very certain that even though you did see some people flee from the upper levels, that that's not everyone that's up on the upper levels.
Yeah,
And not that that's a cause of concern, but you think some of those people are, you know, private or suspicious or, you know, might not
of
ever leave
course.
their house even for a fire. Those sort of folks are the ones that are
Right.
probably not
So
leaving
I'm
those upper levels.
So what I'm doing is I'm directing people to the far left staircase. Meanwhile, one of my gorillas is going to go downstairs once the fourth floor is clearly empty, and he's just going to go ahead. Door's probably still wide open because they just left. He's just going to go ahead, take a match, throw it onto a little bit of kindling, and then just leave. And he's
So
going
on
to
the
go back
fourth floor.
upstairs to the other gorilla.
Okay.
The second gorilla is currently wearing the hazmat suit and has one of the fire kits.
Okay. So the plan is to let that burn for a while and then and
Yep.
and and extinguish it. Okay. All right. So we can I guess since Jamin's not here, we'll kind of fast forward. They seem to have stopped the fire. It seems to have burned at the first, the second, and somewhat on the third floor. Luckily, the fact that the third floor was the gardening floor and had it's damp. Uh, it's got lots of water sources and sprinklers. It managed to at least hold off the flames from getting too bad. But your fire that started on the fourth floor did enough damage to the fourth, a little bit to the fifth, and you
Hmm.
managed to kind of. Well, actually, let's see if let's see some dice rolls from your gorillas to try to put out these fires, just to see how like if it spreads too far or
Hmm.
if you manage to do exactly what you want. I'm going to
Okay.
say to perfectly contain it on the fourth floor will require 2 successes. To stop it from
Hmm.
raging and burning down the entire building will just be 1 success. And if you get 3 successes, you could just localize this fire onto just that one room if you'd like.
Okay.
We'll say this is a. I'm trying to decide between.
Here's a suggestion: body athletics.
That's yeah. I was thinking body, and I was going to try to decide between craft and athletics, but I think athletics would probably be the best
Okay.
one there.
So I have 2 of them. They each have 2d6 to roll this. If one assists the other, it gives them a d8. And one of them has a firefight. Both of them have firefighting kits, so that's an extra d8. So I'm
Yep.
rolling 2d6 and 2d8 to try to put out the fire. And they kind of do it.
They just barely stopped the rest of the building from going up in flames.
You know, I tried to have them do their best. At least one of them's wearing the hazmat suit and didn't burn themselves in the process.
So, Neferu, as you're fleeing from the building, you look back and you've been moving down a few alleys and you finally like get back onto a street where you can look back at the apartment complex, and you see that the ground floor is swarming with people like looking up and like, oh god, why would this happen, and what looks like firefighters, and you can hear sirens and police, and it looks like the fire is somewhat raging on the first and second floor, and it looks like it's somewhat contained, but you're also seeing there's almost like a jump in the fire where it kind of passes by a floor or two, and then the entire top of the building is burning, and it looks like
goodness.
the fire must have somehow gotten out of control. And if this floor is a 10-story building, it looks like you probably set fire to the first 1, 2, and then it stopped at the third.
Right.
With Mitherlin, he set fire to the 4th floor, and it burned up all the way up to the 6th or the 7th floor before he and his guerrillas were able to stop it, along with the aid of the firefighters.
Goodness.
About this time, Mitherlin's probably on the first floor, just kind of wiping her brow a little bit. It's like, well, that could have gone a lot better.
Hopefully it burned the security tapes.
But at least everyone here is safe.
I'm going to need. Yep. So you guys managed to all get away, and for now, and Mitherlin, you guys can either escape up to the top floor where you guys stopped fighting the fires, or you could try to work your way down to the first floor.
Right. I'm technically non-suspicious. The other 2 can literally just fly back to wherever they want. And Bliss can also just be airlifted with them.
Yeah. So yeah, can't all of you fly except for Dr. Ivan?
Right. Ivan can't fly.
Yeah, so it would be easy. So Ivan is at the top floor, like maybe standing on the roof where he can be getting some open air. He's like, oh God, everyone left me. He's standing there on the upper floors, hanging out with your neighbor. It may be, and everyone else has flown down to the first floor. So I guess we'll wait for Jamin to get. Should we wait for Jamin to get back to get into it?
I don't know. I have no idea what Theta's up to, so I say we just kind of keep rolling.
All right. So now's the question: is Neferu and Jamin, you're outside the building. How are you guys going to get back into the building?
Well, we don't need to get back in immediately. Honestly, we just need to wait for them to clear out for a little while.
Yeah, if you wait, a few hours or so, the firefighters start to clear away, but the police don't. The police actually set up a cordon around the first level, and you see some officers stationed outside.
Come back, Theta.
Welcome back. So
There are now cops around the building.
Yeah, so the building started burning on the first floor, and Mitherlin started setting a fire up on the fourth, so he could also damage some of the buildings on that level, or some of the rooms on that level. And that one got a little bit out of control. So that might have caused a little bit more damage than might have been expected. But after the firefighters have all cleared away, the police have set up a cordon around the first level, and there are several officers stationed outside. Everyone is currently outside of the building except for Dr. Ivan Lisk, who is up on one of the high floors, uh, having tea, discussing his future and the research opportunities found.
Yeah, he's had a few weeks. He's had a fun time, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he's on the job hunt.
So right now, Mitherland doesn't seem worried at all, and she's sort of content to wait a little bit. But I'm kind of looking over
Yeah.
at G-Man and Nefir then.
Yeah, let's wait for now and see if they leave.
Nobody saw you do anything, right?
Everybody saw me do it.
I
You
didn't
might
even
wanna-
see me do anything.
You might want to go a bit further afield then. I'll stay here and I'll send you a message if when things clear up.
Okay.
All right, so you guys start waiting even longer, and at a certain point, the construction crew will even the construction crew, the few folks that Ognar, the technicians Ognar sent up or sent over, will even roll up. Maybe one of them has like radio contact with you, and they'll say, are you ready to go in? But at this point, there are still 2, 3 security officers, police officers standing outside the building.
Okay. I'm normal, so I'll go ahead and say, yeah, we'll meet you inside. Don't worry. Or at least I will. So I'll go ahead and fly up, and my crew can fly up too. And we'll start up there, and we'll go down and meet the construction crew.
All right, so you take a circuitous route and you fly up and then and work your way down the building. On the ground floor, the construction crew makes their way up to the entrance. The officers kind of give them a a look over, and then they enter. And up on the fourth floor, you're met by several technicians who all IoT, who are they're hauling a lot of different pieces and parts, and they begin assembling what looks like some sort of strange contraption up on the fourth floor. Uh, right, we'll put it right here in the living room.
Okay. And I'll go ahead and I'll drag a couple people here. Gorilla 1 here. Gorilla 2 here. They're just gonna be outside. Guess I'm in here talking with them. And Lisk is a science person, so he's with me now too.
And they'll start they'll start assembling this machine, and they'll start putting each one of the parts together. And since do you have does Mitherland have a craft score?
I do not. Lisk does, however.
Yeah. So they'll be kind of generally they'll be like pointing out different things that potentially could go wrong with the machine, and trying to give him kind of advice, and they're kind of talking through some of the steps that they're going through, that so he has some idea of like if anything should happen, how to go through and fix that. Um, I'm actually going to put it in this room since it looks like they'll put it right there. Just
Okay.
covers up that. So they'll set it up in this side room over here, and they start preparing everything. And by the end of the day, they have this large machine set up next to the wall, pointed at that large security building next door.
All right. So that looks good.
And as the working day comes to a close, they nod their heads at you and good luck, good luck. And they wish you good luck, and then they leave.
And I'll probably look over at Lisk as soon as they leave and go, so what exactly do you think it does?
It have him roll a mind and academics with a D8 for assisting, because they did walk him through how everything worked.
Alright, so he's got 3d6, he has a d8 for an assist, and he can wear a science outfit because he's a scientist. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes.
I've seen one of these before, Mitherlin. It's an EMP device, a targeted weapon. I think they're trying to disable that building next door.
Makes sense. I thought they were just going to blow it up. I feel a little bit better about that. But it's clear what he's trying to do. I guess it has time to charge up, though. 3 days? Man, what a hell of a capacitor.
I really have no idea. I don't know if it needs to be charged up. Look, there's wires connecting it to they've hooked it up straight to the power supply of this entire apartment complex. You can see there's wires going everywhere and hooked up into the walls. Everything's, all the appliances have been unplugged. Well, all the appliances on this level have probably been burned. But they've got big old power cables plugged into the very apartments
Very nice.
power supply.
Well, as long as this doesn't break, I can trust you with it. Meanwhile, I'm going to see what here isn't burned and move it out into the hallway to help them out. So I'm going to look for things and start moving them the hallway out of the smoke-filled room.
Okay. Are you intending to set up any sort of? Are you trying to set up a barricade?
No, I'm just doing it to be helpful. So it's all there, it's all cleaned up a little bit, it's all ready to move to somewhere else. My 2 grills are technically standing guard, and as soon as anyone comes up, I'll be flagged over to go and talk to people so that they don't come in and see the weird room.
All right. So the day kind of winds to an end, and they haven't really let anyone else back into this apartment building.
Mhm.
Where are Jamin and Neferu going to be? Where you guys are currently watching this building. You notice they do have a kind of a shift change, but there are still 2 officers stationed outside the building.
Yeah, we probably want to just get out of town for a while because they're bound to put us on the news if they have, and I'm sure they have televisions on this planet. So yeah, let's get ourselves scarce. We'll just let Mithril know that we're going back to. Let me check the name here.
Ognar Scroll.
Ognar, yeah.
All
Oh
right.
no, we're there to protect this equipment. Let's. Shit, yeah, we protecting it for 3 days.
Yes.
That's
yeah,
right.
3 days.
How about we try to find a shady hotel that won't tell on us? So like a safe house, if she can find one, could we make it the same role as I would usually use for finding a fence?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
And I'll say that the more successes you have, the closer the seedy hotel is to this apartment.
all right.
All right. You've got 3 successes. So you did find a shady hotel, and one that even offers rates by the hour, and it is about a block away from this apartment,
Okay,
complex. All right.
that's even better than what I was thinking before. All right.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to look for, or is just that shady hotel?
Well, I've got all the weapons I need, and Jaimin only wants to use redirect encounters, so I don't think we need anything there except just, delivery food.
The price for this room, for their discretion, they charge 2 notes, or at least that's what they say.
All right. Well, I'll pay for this day here, but that'll drain me of notes.
So wait a second. You're saying that the hotel, even this shitty ass hotel, charges 2 notes a day? You understand that a note is a day's worth of survival. We're charging you twice the amount you need to live on a day. I mean, thrown out there, that's food, shelter. That's
Now,
what
this
a
is the
note
cost of the hotel that
represents.
won't tell you anything, or won't tell anyone anything.
Yeah, this is the hotel that won't tell you what hooker you brought in.
Wait, they won't tell you what hooker you brought in?
I said
Well, maybe
yeah.
you don't want to
I
know.
said
Like,
yeah.
after you wake up.
Y-A, yeah. Not you.
The
Young
formal, yeah.
adults. The formal, yeah.
The royal, yeah.
Yeah, a hotel, a cheap one is 50 quavers a bunk. An affordable hotel room is 1.5 per room.
Yep, that's what I was looking at.
I think the whole notes system falls apart the moment you throw in the fact that it's supposed to be how much you live on a day. Well, an affordable one is 1.5. But isn't a note supposed to be affordable?
Some people are paid more than a day's wages for their labors, unlike you,
Yeah.
peasants.
Yeah, wait, doesn't for labor I mean, yeah, if we're looking at the prices of labor, I mean, you could get 9 a day. It's only if you're unskilled that you're getting 1 a day. A skilled labor could get 3 notes a day.
Just work harder.
Yeah, just work harder.
Affordable. Lisa needs
I'll pay the fee.
braces. Dental plan.
So you guys spend a night at a seedy hotel which has they have a whole share of discretion. They do not seem to have invested anything in insulation, and there's a lot of noises going on. If you have any sort of improved hearing, then that might be slightly uncomfortable. But I think we've gone over that no one in the party has observation. So maybe it's the perfect opportunity to
Nefiro
rest and
screams all the time. I don't think she has improved hearing. I'm insulated against vacuum, so I don't think I care about the lack of insulation.
I have observation, and so does Lisk. We notice everything, but we're not staying at your terrible place. We're staying at our terrible place.
that they half burned down.
Look,
Yeah.
I can float through the depths of space. I don't care about where I'm floating at. Planet side. I'm vacuum sealed.
The next morning, as you wake up, in your maybe somewhat charred bed, Mithrin, or maybe you found another bed to lay down in. Your radio that Ognar Scroll gave you crackles to life. I don't know if there's any. I don't know if
6
there's any
a.m.
call
What
sign.
is it, Ognar?
Is the machine in position?
Yeah, it's there.
Ah, I assume the technicians told you which button to press. The big red one?
Yeah, the big red one. I can see it from here. It blinks all night. You really had to put LEDs in it.
Well, it actually came cheaper. We had a discount for the plan that came with extra colors. So,
Gosh dang,
that
discount packages, they ruin everything.
Ooh.
Well, but
that reminds me, and I need to send in the mail-in rebate. Give me 1 second. There's a
Yeah, Mitherland just gets up, gets some coffee, shakes herself a little bit.
oh well, you know what they say. Uh, a quavar saved is a quavar earned. Anyways, hey, if you don't mind, hit the red button.